What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as BBD would say? Happy Wednesday to everybody. It's your boy, Pigskin Pete, back at you with another live call-in show, which I do every Wednesday and Friday night at 10 p.m. for all of my fellow football fans. Yes, that's right. I do it like clockwork. I'm a professional. I always show up. Speaking of showing up, Monday at noon with Mark Rogers TV. College football coast to coast. Even if you can't catch it at noon, maybe you're at work, maybe, hell, I don't know what you're doing. You can always watch it later. It's a great show. We do it every Monday at noon for an hour. Maybe a little over an hour. Tuesday and Thursday at noon over on Uncle Lou on LouTube, the Lunch Money Show. Talk about sports betting, let you know how to lose money. You also have a chance to screw Lou or beat Pete head to head. Every Tuesday at 9 with my man Bobby Durkins right here on this YouTube channel. Last night we had to cancel the show, but we'll be back right back at you next week at 9 p.m. So don't fret. Then, of course, every Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m., the call-in show where you get to call and tell me whatever you want. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. But it's always entertaining. That's all that matters. And then, of course, every Saturday I do a live game reaction during a primetime college football game. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll announce it on Friday's show, I think. I'll let you guys know on Friday what I'm going to do. It is Halloween. That's one issue I have. I got kids. It's Halloween. So I don't know. I still want to do a game, though. So we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Cheers to the chat. Without the chat, there would be no show. Clemson Carson's in the house. Matt Dummett, Tiger Nation, my brother for life. What's up, brother? George, Bama Buddy says, evening, Pete. What's up, Bama Buddy? Dennis Wilson. Yes. He says, Pigskin Pete and Death Valley, what's up? What's up, Dennis Wilson? Bears, Cubs, Canes is in the house. T. Davis. What's up, buddy? Tiger Paw Craven says, what's up, Pete? What's up with you? I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing, and I know you're fantastic if you're here. Nate the Great, don't be late, a.k.a. Nate Kingston. Country Tigers in the house. Luke Walker. The QC is here. The QC has blessed us with his presence. Good to see you, buddy. Bubba Clemson. Colby L. Hey, Colby. I know you DM me on Twitter. You still haven't sent me your PayPal. I lost a bet to you. I owe you $5, fair and square. I mean, you have a PayPal? Just send me your email address on Twitter, and I'll PayPal you your $5. I don't want to not pay you. I pay my bets. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that guy, even if it's only $5. $5 is $5. Crimson Brave. Jeff Webster. Brian Byak. I love that name. I don't know why I do. I love saying it. Brian Byak. Am I saying it right? I don't know. Probably not. Brad Pitt, Jordan Bowman, the GOAT Watson, and he is the GOAT, by the way, in case you didn't know. Now you know. Yeah. All right. Last thing real quick before we get started here. Well, you know what? Screw it. We'll just get started. Number to call in is 864-207-4522. Yeah, okay, yeah, here, yeah, of course, here. Go sign up at howardsrock.net. Link in the description. Or you can just type howardsrock.net and you Google, go to it, register. It takes you 5 seconds. It's free. Helps your boy out. Don't have to put your credit card number in or anything like that. Want to buy something, you can, but you don't have to. 864-207-4522. So the Big Ten is that they screwed up big time. I mean, I think I said a couple of weeks ago, I'd be surprised if they made it through 4 weeks. Starting this late in the year, I mean, we're already seeing this happen now. They got no bye weeks, so they can't make up games. Their protocol for players that test positive or staff members that test positive is way more strict than any other conference to begin with. I don't really know. I don't see a way that they have a chance to. I mean, they might end up just having to cancel the whole thing at some point. Now, I hope they don't have to. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see a way, because people are going to get it. We're seeing it in every conference. Look, there's people getting it. They're getting it. They're on college campuses, right? They're not living in isolation. There's going to be people get it, and what we've seen now with Wisconsin is they just canceled the game. Say, all right, well, some people have it. That's it. It's over. Cancel the game. Can't make it up. It's going to happen every week. Eventually, what you're going to have is several teams that miss 3 and 4 games, right? Because it's not just Wisconsin that's losing the game. Nebraska's losing the game. And Nebraska doesn't even have any positive tests as far as I know. So it's a shame. But this is so whose heads have to roll? Because I'm hearing a lot of people say you got to fire Kevin Warren. He's the commissioner of the Big Ten. Okay. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I mean, he's clearly handled this wrong. But he's under the pressure of the athletic directors and the presidents of these universities. So, I mean, when they had the vote, right, the original vote, whether the Big Ten should play or not, wasn't it only like 2 or 3 teams out of 14 that voted to play? So is that Kevin Warren's fault? No. I mean, but I guess shit rolls uphill in this situation. He's the top dog in the conference, but some of these presidents got to go too. Let's not just put it all on him. Let's not just put it all on him. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Boo. Mer.
Yo.
What's up, Pete? It's Coulter.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
And I'm calling you from ice-covered Oklahoma. Yes, I am not. Yes, Oklahoma City is covered in ice right now. Hooray!
Is it really that cold in Oklahoma?
No, we seriously got a major ice storm. Like,
wow.
After the call-in show, look it up on Google. Search up Oklahoma ice storm 2020, and you'll see.
Well, I think, you know what? No, now that you say that, I think I heard something about it, because it was weird that there was a Category 1 hurricane coming up and supposed to hit Louisiana, and then,
Hurricane
a couple
data.
of states over, you got an ice storm. Talk about weird. That's
Big Ten fans say that they get the craziest weather. I disagree. Oklahoma weather is always going to be crazier.
right.
That's how it is. But speaking of crazy, I'm expecting a crazy game in Lubbock on Saturday, because I don't know why, but Texas Tech loves giving Oklahoma fits. And here's some advice for you guys. If the spread is Oklahoma 14 or greater in Oklahoma's favor on that game, take Tech on the spread, because Tech is going to give Oklahoma a real test, because they always seem to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about it, but, I mean, I guess that's just Texas Tech for you.
I don't remember what the spread was. We talked about that on Tuesday's Lunch Money show. I do remember that. I've pretty much just throw my hat into the ring. As I've given up with betting on Oklahoma, or not even betting, just picking. I don't know what's going to happen with them from week to week. But I do agree with you. I mean, Texas Tech, from some of the scores they've been putting up this year, their offense seems to be decent.
I mean, their offense has always been insane.
Right.
I mean, ever since Cliff Kingsbury got there.
Well, yeah, but now he's gone. So he's been. So
I mean, they still are an air raid team. So
okay.
You got Tech and you got Lincoln Riley, 2 coaches who love going to the air. So get the U.S. military's anti-air strikes out there, because, air raid battle.
Yeah. What's the weather supposed to be like for that game?
talk.
Do you know?
I am not for sure, but there's one thing I want to talk about that the semis ticked off from us last Saturday. So I'm not sure if any of you guys saw this, but here's the situation. Oklahoma was up 16 with a minute 20 left on the clock. TCU had 2 timeouts. Oklahoma was in TCU territory. And Spencer Rattler takes a knee, and Gary Patterson doesn't call a timeout. He lets the clock run. And then on second down, Rattler takes another knee, and Gary Patterson calls timeout. Lincoln Riley is understandably ticked off at that. And, yeah, I don't understand why Patterson would call that timeout on second down if he didn't call one on first down. That just had me ticked off because, okay, there's head coaches like Dabo Sweeney who have very good class. I'm not saying Clemson's going to lose, but if he knows that Clemson's lost the game, he's not going to call a timeout if he has them. He's going to let the clock run down, shake hands with the head coach, because he has class. What Gary Patterson did last Saturday is one of the most classless things I have ever seen. What the heck?
I haven't heard about this. What did he do? You saying he just ran off the field?
No, what I'm saying is he called a timeout.
Okay.
I'm talking Patterson.
Yeah.
He called a timeout on second down, but he didn't call one on first down. Why are you doing that?
Oh.
If you're going to call your timeouts, call them on first down, because it doesn't change the game in any serious way, because TCU is down 16. They would have to, for them to have any shot at winning, they would need Oklahoma to miss the field goal, go downfield quickly, get a 2-point conversion, get an onside kick, and get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to send that game to overtime, and there would be less than a minute on the clock.
Right.
It's possible, but Oklahoma's not Atlanta. They're not gonna watch the ball roll. They're gonna jump on it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Most of that stuff is it's insignificant at the end of the day.
Yeah. Also, Peete, I'm willing to make a bet with you for $10 here.
I think I'm done making bets with viewers.
No, trust me, you'll see.
What is it?
So, the Auburn LSU game this week, I'm gonna bet you $10 that the Tigers win.
Yeah, I'm not taking that bet. We're both gonna win.
Yeah.
Good try, buddy.
I'm going.
Well, good luck to your Sooners. Real quick before you go, are you in agreement with me now that Oklahoma State's the best team in the Big 12? You said Iowa State was.
I think when they have Spencer Sanders healthy, yes. But I also am not completely impressed with them because Iowa State made a bunch of mental errors, and I think part of that's just the fact that, they're playing who right now is considered the top dog in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, Oklahoma State does still have a murderer's row of Big 12 teams to go to.
They do.
Because I think they have Kansas State, Texas, and Oklahoma, in a 3-week span.
Yeah.
And just going to let you know about this. Whenever Bedlam comes, please react to that game because you're always going to see something crazy because that's Bedlam.
Yeah, I agree.
2017, you get Mason Rudolph and Baker Mayfield going over 400 yards.
Well,
2018, you see a 6-6 Oklahoma State team taking the Big 12 powerhouse Oklahoma all the way to the end. 2019, you see Chuba Hubbard getting stripped. It's always something crazy.
The Big 12 is actually pretty interesting this year. I don't know. I think the game this weekend between Texas and Oklahoma State is probably one of the best games in the country. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. All right, buddy. I got some calls stacking up here. I got to go. But thank you for the call.
Right. See ya. Go Tigers.
Yep. Good afternoon, you're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete. This is Jesse.
Jesse, what's up, man?
Not much. I just wanted to sit here and point out how badly does it suck that we're not getting to play South Carolina this year. I would love to be able to beat their shit.
Yeah, I guess.
Year.
It does suck.
God, it sucks so much.
It does suck. But I guess
I mean,
kinda
because they feel like they got some life and just never again.
I mean, it looks like from your from the call screener here, you said, who would you rather play, Notre Dame or South Carolina? Is that what you said?
I think I asked that a while back, but yeah.
Okay. Right.
I say the same thing though. Like right now, I'd still rather play South Carolina.
See, I'd rather
it flips.
I'd rather play Notre Dame because I think that Notre Dame's going to be a better game, and that's really all. I mean, I still think Clemson will beat either team, but I'd rather see a more interesting game.
Oh yeah, and you know what's kind of weird? I kind of hate to say this, but like, I mean, I'm 26, so I grew up in the years of Clemson not being great and getting into this. I kind of miss the questionable games. You know what I mean? But
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
I love being dominant. I love the competitiveness. Like what year was it? 2016.
Yeah.
I mean, man, the number of games that we had in that season. The Louisville game. I was there for every single one of those at home. It was just
they had a game
the nail biting.
Yeah. Game
all
Virginia
of
Tech,
them,
I think, who was ranked in the top 10 at the time. They 2016 was the year they had 3 top 15 wins in the month of September. Which was the only time it's ever happened.
Sadly, I wasn't able to watch the Virginia Tech game. I had to take my mother to the hospital that night, but it was one of those things. But I mean, luckily we had already. I mean, within the first quarter, we'd already put the game away.
Yeah.
And so if that were to have happened, that would have been the game. And then I had another question, and I can't remember it. But anyways, that'll do it for me.
All right, buddy. Oh, I appreciate the call.
No problem, man. Go Tigers.
Yeah, go Tigers. You guys have it. Jesse calling in. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete. J-Dub calling. How's it going tonight?
Dub. I'm amazing and fantastic. How are you doing?
Just fine. I knew that's how you would be. Hey, I wanted to, the other caller was talking just briefly about some of the Big 12 teams.
Yes.
I've seen Oklahoma and I've seen Texas Tech both come to Iowa State this year and both get their ass handed to them. Neither one of them are very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And he's worried about Texas Tech. You got nothing to worry about, sir. They are lame. There is nothing there. They may be trying to run an air raid scheme, but they don't have the talent to do it. Oklahoma State got Iowa State.
I tend to agree with you, Jeff. However, we have seen Oklahoma lose to 2 bad teams, or at least 1 bad team.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I don't put anything past Oklahoma. They can spit up on themselves at any time. They've proven that.
Right.
I was going to talk about the Big Ten real briefly here.
Go ahead.
I've got with the Cyclones at Kansas and the Les Miles. They're on the road this week to Lawrence, so I picked up an assignment shooting Northwestern at Iowa, and I can't wait to get over to campus because I can't wait to mingle with some of these folks and talk about what's happened with Wisconsin and the rest of the conference, because I know they were scared from the very beginning if they had waited too long.
Yeah.
And Iowa was with Ohio State and Nebraska. They were the 3 schools that were fighting like hell to not even postpone the season to begin with. They didn't want the delay to start with.
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
they were the ones that voted against the shutdown, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's going to be a little smugness, like we told you this was going to happen. Because you're right. I mean, there's no room for error. They lose a game. I mean, there's no room on the calendar to make it up. And why, for the life of me, these conferences didn't just start playing I mean, the Big 12 built in. Now they took their they played one non-con game, and then they're playing everything else in the conference. But they built 2 byes into each team's schedule. So there's 2 built-in byes. The SEC could have done that. The ACC could have done that, and they probably should have, because who knows? I mean, there, but by the grace of God goes your favorite team, my favorite team, somebody else's favorite team. It could happen at any moment. Nobody's immune from this.
Right. Here's the question I have for you, Jeff, because hold on a second. I feel as if I lost my I don't know what happened. Anyway, I'll figure it out in a minute. I lost my ability to look at who's calling here. But so basically they have a rule. The Big Ten has a rule. The Big Ten has a rule that you have to play at least 6 games to be considered for the Big Ten championship. My question is,
correct.
My question is, let's say Wisconsin gets in 6 games, only 6 games though, right? But they're 6-0. And then you have a team, another team from the East, I guess. They're doing divisions in the Big Ten still, aren't they? Or no?
Yeah, they're still playing that way. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you have a team that is, I don't know, a team that gets in 7 games, or 8 games, but they're 6-2 or 7-1. Like, I don't understand. Is it who has the most wins, or do losses matter? I mean, because you could be 7-1.
Yeah,
but
and I don't know.
You can be 7-1, but have more wins than a 6-0. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I have to tell you, I don't know how they're going to do that, and it's got to be weighted somehow. I can't believe that they don't already have that figured out and in place. But considering how much they bumbled everything already, it wouldn't put it past them if they don't, because this has just been a public relations nightmare. And the people that are calling for the commissioner's head aren't really calling because they're so mad at him as they are mad at the way the whole thing was handled. Because it's just been, from a public relations standpoint, it's just been a nightmare from the very, very beginning. I mean, they have just. Yeah. Somebody should have taken some media relations classes, you know?
Well,
it's just, thank God. Hey, we may look back on this and just say, you know what, we got through October. Thank God for that. We have no idea what we might be considering lucky a month from now, you know?
I think
so. Let's just all keep our fingers.
But see, with the way the Big Ten is concerned, because the ACC and the Big 12 and the SEC at least have a little bit of cushion. We've seen several games get postponed. Nothing has been canceled completely quite yet, I don't think. Maybe there has been one game, but at the end of the day, what you'll start to see happen if you have let's say you're a Wisconsin player, and you have aspirations to go in the NFL or whatever. I mean, at what point, how many games do you have to lose before it becomes meaningless for you to play anymore this season? And then you just have guys saying, I'm opting out. I'm done, you know? So it's a disaster waiting to happen. And the crazy thing about this is that the Big Ten had a schedule come out, right? It wasn't even a delayed schedule in comparison to the other conferences, right? They were supposed to start like the second week of September, the same way the ACC and the Big 12 were. Before the SEC even. And then all of a sudden, if they went from a Tuesday, they put out a schedule, Monday or whatever it was, a Monday or a Tuesday, they put out the schedule. And then 2 days later, they just say, we're not having a season until the spring, maybe not at all. It's like, it just happened so fast. They panicked. I mean, clearly there's political pressure. I mean, there's no way that politics are involved in this. And I don't want to get into that. I mean, I don't even want to make this into a political argument, but politics were definitely involved in this, and they screwed up, and now they're gonna have to deal with it. You know, but I do hope, for all you Big Ten fans out there, if you're watching me, I do hope that all the schools get as many games as they can. I hope that the Big Ten is considered for the playoffs if they deserve to be there. Ohio State, Michigan, whoever, and Wisconsin, whoever it may be. I hope that they are. So I feel sorry for the fans and the players mainly.
Yeah, there's been a lot of noise, a lot of saluting, I guess, or whatever, for Nebraska and Iowa and Ohio State, who were the three that were strongly in favor of playing the season, there were also 3 weak sisters who were the other way around, who even when they came out with this revised schedule, still weren't excited to play. And those 3 were Illinois, Northwestern, and Michigan. And again, I don't want to bring politics into it, but that very much had something to do with it, I think, when you look at the governors and the legislatures in both of those states. So anyway, let's just keep our fingers crossed. I mean, nobody wants anybody to get sick, and everybody knows, everybody wants everybody to be healthy. We don't want anything like that to happen. And I understand why you got to quarantine people, but let's just keep our fingers crossed. We've been, and if you look at it in the overall picture, we've been pretty lucky so far, and let's just hope it can continue.
I agree.
Hey, thanks for the time, Pete. Great show as always. Look forward to seeing what everybody else has to say.
All right, J-Dub. Thank you for the call, man. You guys have a J-Dub calling in. Thank you, by the way. Very, very generous. Bears, Cubs, Canes coming through with a $10 donation. Says, "What's up, Pete? Sending you a few for an ACC brother. Take care, buddy. Well, you take care too, and I appreciate it. So us ACC people." It's hard out here for a pimp, ain't it? It's hard out here for a pimp, ain't it? Has anybody been watching? If you turn on any channel, any sports channel, whether it's Fox Sports or ESPN, you turn on any radio station that has to do with sports. Hell, at this point, you turn on any YouTube channel, even not even just mine, any sports YouTube channel has to do with college football. What is everybody talking about today? And I made a point about this last week. I think it might have been the Friday show where I got a little carried away. I was wanting to start betting people $100 in the chat that I was right about this. The whole Trevor Lawrence situation, dodging the Jets. Is he going to come back to Clemson? Will he dodge the Jets, or will he dodge whoever drafts him? So then, what was it, yesterday or today? I don't even know. It was yesterday. Yesterday, he comes out and says, well, they ask him about it. He doesn't come out and say anything. They ask him. He answers a question. They ask him, any chance that you come back to Clemson next year instead of entering the draft, basically, is what they asked him, right? So earlier in the season, no, not earlier in the season, before the season even started, they asked him the same thing several times. He's been asked this 100 times. He gets asked this every single week. His original answer was, I have every intention of, this is my last ride in college. I'm done, basically, after the season's over with. Yesterday he says, oh, well, he gets a very vague answer, right? So he basically says, oh, well, you never know. There's a lot that goes into it. You never know what's going to happen, right? Well, today, again, every radio station, every TV station is talking about, oh, Trevor Lawrence, he's leaving the door. He's changing his tune. He's leaving the door open to come back to Clemson. He doesn't want to go to the Jets. What was the other thing I heard? I've heard it all. He wants to set all these records. He's never said any of that. I stand firm here. Now, of course, I don't know. He'll do anything, but according to Pigskin Pete, there's a 99.9% chance that he enters the draft because he would be foolish not to. I don't care where he's going. I don't care where he's going. And there's one thing in this that people aren't taking into consideration. Well, several things are not taken into consideration. He just got engaged in the offseason to his longtime girlfriend. I don't think that they have intentions of getting married in the offseason or whenever I think the wedding is supposed to be in the offseason. Don't know that for sure, but what are they going to get married and live in Clemson and let him play college football for another year when he's got $33 million guaranteed on the table? No. Anybody who's ever got, been a 20-something who's got married, he's broke. They got no money. They want to go off and start a life together. You don't turn down $30 million guaranteed. That's life-changing money. Even if the team he goes to never wins a football game, he's set for life if he's not stupid with his money. Right? So I don't see it. I don't see it. He ain't coming back. And if he's got an agent that's worth a shit, once he's done playing college ball and he hires an agent, his agent will tell him he'll be stupid as shit to stay at Clemson too. There's nothing there left for him. Nothing. So, take my word for it. Trevor Lawrence will not be back in a Clemson uniform next year. If there's Clemson fans in here that are holding on to some kind of pie in the sky hope for that to happen, just go ahead and let it go. Okay? Plus, do you really want to see him come back? Let's be honest here. I mean, I love watching the guy play more than anybody. The last thing I want for is for him to come back and get injured, and it screws up his draft stock for next year. The other thing I don't want to see it do is run off DJ Uiagalelei. This is his bench year. I want to see DJ play next year. It's time to move on from Trevor. Love the guy, but hey, this is what college football is. Oh yeah, I made a tweet yesterday about how I don't trust politicians, and people got mad at me on Twitter. I'm undefeated on Twitter, by the way. I take no L's on Twitter. So anyway, what's up, Jamie Wagoner? First time catching you live. Love the show. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Let's see who's on the phone here. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete. It's Nate the Great.
Nate
a.k.a.
the Great. Don't be late, a.k.a. Nate Kingston. Nate, is it your birthday or something today? Or was that last week? Am I confusing you with somebody else?
I think that was last week, I think.
You think your birthday was last week, but you're not sure.
I think it was probably someone else because
okay.
Because my birthday was on September 15th. But yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you remembered your birthday just now. That's comforting to know that you know your own birthday.
Yeah. But man, Big Ten, what are you doing? Well, it's not all I'm thinking for Big Ten, but Wisconsin, they need to get under control. Gosh, as a Big Ten fan and a Michigan fan and a Nebraska fan, I just want to play football and not to cancel football. I just want to I want to play in college, maybe.
Remind me who Michigan's playing this week. I should know this.
The Sparties.
Oh yes, Spartans. That's right. Oh God, that's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, little brother, you need to go down. I don't get me wrong that Michigan used to be good, but right now they're not even good at all. But yeah, if Michigan loses, I'm gonna freaking freak out. I'm not. I'm being serious. If they lose, I'm done. I'm done with them. I'm done that game.
You're not done.
But no, not done. Not done. I'm shutting off that game as well for Michigan. But
Matty Sims brings up a great point. He says there's no L in Pigskin Pete. Yeah, he's right.
Well, actually, I was going to say beginning the call, you're undefeated against Ohio State fans.
What about them?
No, I said you're undefeated against Ohio State fans. You're undefeated.
Oh, yeah, I'm undefeated against Ohio State. Oh, that's true too. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just. Hey, did you watch the Nebraska game on morning? What time was there when Nebraska's game and Ohio State played? I forgot. You're in South Carolina, right?
Yeah, I'm in South Carolina,
right?
Yep.
Clear.
Sure am.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
Okay. hey, as a Nebraska fan and Michigan fan, and yeah, Nebraska competed. Don't get me wrong, they competed in the first half, but they fell down in the second half still. But they, I was actually surprised.
We'll find out. We'll find out how good Nebraska is. Look, these people. This is
I
the
know,
thing.
I
This is
know.
the thing that pisses me off, or not pisses me off, but it irritates me. I get irritated pretty easily. It's like when I do my top 10 video, and I put Ohio State at 3, and people are like, "How are you going to put Ohio State at 3? They only played one game." Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
I didn't rank them for the entire first 6 weeks of football because they weren't playing. But if I'm going to rank a team, it's this simple to me. If I'm going to bother ranking a team or a conference, no matter how many games they played, I'm ranking them where I think they fit. And I don't care, again, like I said on the ranking video, I don't care if Ohio State played against Kansas. I'm not looking at who they're playing. I'm looking at them. You can look at Ohio State and tell the same way that you can look at Alabama and tell, the same way that you can look at Clemson and tell, if you watch them play a full football game, that how great they are. And it doesn't matter who they're playing.
Yeah, I mean.
So, anyway.
I know.
So, I don't know.
Sorry.
Nebraska got their face bashed in eventually. But who knows? Nebraska might be a pretty good team. We don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out in the coming weeks. Not this week, though.
Yeah. Probably not this week, but I just don't. Well, first off, that Big Ten conversation you had with Jeff Webster about the Big Ten beginning of the year. I was so excited to watch football in the beginning of the year, and yet Big Ten cancels the first. I want to say the second time, or was it the first? I forgot. But anyway, I think that was a stupid call from Warren. Whatever his name, Warren something.
Jeff. Kevin Warren.
Yeah. And they made a big mistake because I kind of feel unfair is not a word, but I felt like it was unfair that the SEC, but no, not disrespect to SEC fans or teams or ACC fans or teams. I just think that Big Ten should just went like SEC did and the AC
I agree.
did.
The Big Ten screwed the pooch royally. Thank you, Nate, the Great.
Yeah.
And you weren't late.
Oh.
You weren't late.
Well, I'm late?
You were not late. You were right on time, buddy.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But all right, have a good night. I'll talk on Friday.
All right, buddy. Thank you. There you guys have it. Nate the Great. No comprende. No speaking English. You go. You've been here 4 hours. Thank you, Nick Hager or Hager. I don't know. I feel like it's Hager. Anyway, thank you, Nick, for the donation. He says, if Notre Dame loses a close one to Clemson next week, will they gain some national respect? Or will the haters still hate? Love the show, man, from a Notre Dame fan. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, Nick, but I tweeted something out about that very subject. I think it was yesterday. Notre Dame will not get respect from anybody until they win a postseason game, a big postseason game in the playoffs. And it's not because Notre Dame's not good. It's not because they don't deserve respect. It's because people love. There's a couple of teams in the country, and Notre Dame is right at the top of the list, where people will refuse to give them respect until it's forced to give them respect. So, I can tell you right now, as a Clemson guy, and just a fan of college football, knowing how good Clemson is, especially in big games, generally, usually the bigger the brighter the lights, the better Clemson plays. That's usually their MO. They usually play down to the competition like we saw them do with Syracuse last week and so forth. But when it's time to play a big game, they get up for it. So if Notre Dame's able to keep it close with Clemson, I'll have more respect for them. I'll think they're a pretty good team. I already think they're a pretty good team. But they got to win the big one. Thank you for the donation. Now, if they win the game, I'll be really impressed. Wilkie, 451. What's up, buddy? He says, what about Dabo and Trevor to the Jets? Well, Trevor maybe. Dabo, I don't see that happening. There was a lot of speculation about would Dabo take the Texans job. They got an open job because Deshaun Watson. I don't see him like latching on to one guy and being like, oh, I love this guy so much, I'm going to go coach him. Players and coaches are expendable in the NFL. Dabo Swinney has job security better, just as much or more than any other coach in college football. They're paying this guy almost $10 million a year. He's winning. He's going to the playoffs every year. Clemson at this point is the house that Dabo built to go. And by the way, just this is non-football related, but can you see Dabo Swinney living in New York City? I'd be like, what's that? The Beverly Hillbillies with Jeffro. Oh shit! What's that? Crocodile Dundee Part 2 when he goes to New York. Anyway, yeah, that ain't happening. But thank you, sir. Let's see. I got one more call here. Good afternoon, you're on with Pete.
What's up, Pete? It's Bubba Clemson, man.
Bubba Clemson. What's up, brother? Sorry, my
foot Not a whole lot. Hey,
I got bit by some fire.
First of all,
my foot is itching like a man.
First of all, Trevor's not going to stay at Clemson. We all know that. And anybody that says that they want him to has not got his best interests at heart. Because, like you said, he's engaged.
Ding, ding, ding.
He's got,
that is correct, sir.
He's got a life ahead of him.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
And even if he stays a year, he's still going to go to a shitty team.
Right. It might even be the Jets again.
Yeah. And if you want him to stay, then you're wanting the guy that came all the way from California to Clemson to end up transferring, because he came here knowing Trevor was going to enter the draft.
Right. And
so we're going to lose out.
Yeah. And I'm sure Trevor has every intention of like, hey, this young guy's coming in. He remembers being the guy coming in. Time to pass the torch on to him. Yeah. Time to move on with my life. The first overall pick gets guaranteed somewhere between $30 and $34 million guaranteed. Guaranteed. That's even if he doesn't ever take a snap. Guaranteed money.
And that's not including signing bonus and everything else that goes along with it.
It's not including anything. And here's the other thing.
Oh, and you are in New York,
yes.
The highest endorsement deal capital of the world.
Yes. The biggest sports market in the world. New York City is.
Do not expect Trevor to be back next year.
No, he ain't coming back.
And if he does, I will go slap him around at New Springs.
It doesn't even matter if it's the Jets or if it's some other bad team. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No.
And all those people saying you should avoid the Jets at all costs. First of all, they do have a terrible coach. Adam Gase he's next level bad. I mean, here's what happened. For anybody who doesn't
but he'll be gone.
For anybody who doesn't follow the NFL, this is the domino effect that made the Jets such a bad organization. First of all, Adam Gase should have never been hired as the head coach there. He's already proven he's not a good head coach in the NFL. But this is sort of like he's the Will Muschamp of the NFL. Maybe not quite as bad.
Amen.
Anyway, they hire him as the head coach. And then what they do is they give him the power to hire the GM. Then this should never be the case. This never works out. Whenever the head coach has the ability to hire his boss, which doesn't make any sense, right?
Look at Houston.
Well, there you go. Well, they made him the GM too. So anyway, Adam Gase hires the GM, who's terrible too. Both of them are terrible. But The GM for New York does have 3 Super Bowl rings, not with the Jets, with other teams. I don't know what teams they are, but he has a history of winning. Here's the bottom line. The first thing that needs to happen is get rid of Gase. That's it. If you go out there and you get a great, you've seen this happen all over the NFL now. They're going out and getting offensive-minded head coaches from college, and it's working. I mean, you got Lincoln Riley's out there. There's a lot of people that talk about him. We see what's going on in Arizona with Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, I know Dabo's name's brought up a lot. There's a bunch of different names in college football with Luke Fickell. All these guys that would be a good fit in the NFL if they decided to make that jump. Now, you immediately get a coach in there who's competent. And what coach, if they know that whatever they're rebuilding an organization from the ground up, would not want to start their team with Trevor Lawrence as their first pick and as being a head coach there? There's not a single.
Plus, they have several number 1 and 2 round or 1 and 2 round picks, so that they can actually go and get some offensive tackles,
right,
and build around the quarterback that they do get.
And they'll get at least a first round or second round pick at the least for Sam Darnold.
For Darnold.
Right.
Exactly.
And they might not even want to, you know what? They might not even want to get rid of Darnold. They might think they have other problems, and they'll trade their first pick to whoever. I mean, there's a whoever in the top 10 that's willing to trade, bet the farm. Dallas, Atlanta, I mean, whatever. Whoever ends up in the top 10 needs a quarterback and is willing to trade the farm. The Jets might just be sitting there licking their chops saying, we're going to stack up on 3 and 4 and 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years. For
exactly, and that's another thing. I mean, you've got Sam Darnold, and I'm not going to say he's the greatest quarterback in the world, but he's a very serviceable quarterback if you give him protection and some weapons around him.
Right.
He would be a pretty good quarterback. That might be a trade option.
He's not Trevor Lawrence. His ceiling isn't as high as Trevor Lawrence, I don't think, but he's not bad. No. He's not bad. I mean, basically, he plays for a terrible team, but he's not necessarily the problem. The real problem right now is the coach. Everybody knows that. He's awful.
Exactly.
But anyway.
But yeah, you're right. The GM has some trade experience. He has some building a team experience. So Jets would not be the worst thing that would happen. I mean, it might be for the first year or so, but after that, I don't care where Trevor goes. He's going to be successful.
Right.
So, but anyway, all right, man. I'll talk to you on Friday, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate the call.
All right.
Thank you. Wilkie wants to know if I'm betting on the election. Thank you for the donation, sir. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it. I'm actually worried. I'm actually worried about the election, and not that I'm worried about the results so much. Because I bet that nobody on here could probably even tell me who I'm voting for. Because I've never even hinted at it. First of all, anybody who's listened to 2 seconds, knows me. I don't trust anybody. In Washington. But that's besides the point. But I'm worried about the aftermath of the election. If depending on who wins, the other side, the crazy people out there. And it could be on either side. I'm worried about what's going to happen in the streets, but that's we'll see. No, I'm not going to bet on the election. I do think that Trump is going to win. I do think that Trump's going to win, but Uncle Lou, you're doing an election night call-in show. It sounds like a fucking disaster waiting to happen. Dude, I would not do that if I were you. Especially knowing you. That's probably not a good idea, sir. But if you have an election show, I will definitely tune into it. I will definitely tune. Oh, you do it every Tuesday. Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. So you do a show every Tuesday. You just can't help it that it's at the same time. And you know what? That's right around the time. What time's your show on Tuesday? 10 o'clock, right? Yeah, it's right around the same time that most of the numbers have come in by then. It's getting real close to who's going to win. And usually by midnight we will have an answer. You know what? I don't think we'll have that this year though. Unless it's a blowout for some reason on one way or the other, it's going to probably spill over 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days because of COVID and whatever. I don't see this being an uncontested election on either side. Wilkie says, "I'll let me little girl vote for president this time." What, you let your little girl tell you who to vote for? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually have a show that night, too. Only for an hour, though. Before lose. Oh, see, this is what I'll talk about. Politics in here. It's already starting to get ugly in here. You go. You've been here 4 hours. Speaking of 4 hour, you know what I'm doing? I'm building a, I don't know what the hell's wrong with my headphones. I'm building a fire pit in my backyard. And it's not just the fire. The fire pit's easy. The pit itself, I could do that in an hour or two. But it's a whole section of my yard where I'm making like a sitting area. It's grass now. And so I've got to make a whole sitting area, put pavers in there, the whole fucking 9 yards. And so I went out this morning, which I thought would be like a 30-minute to 45-minute trip to Home Depot and maybe whatever, Tractor Supply or whatever, to scout materials, get some prices, see what I was going to get. And I don't know if it's because of coronavirus or what, but they don't have shit. Like, and again, there's like 4 or 5 Home Depots within 20 minutes of me. I mean, they're everywhere around here, and Lowe's, and everywhere there's a Home Depot, there's a Lowe's, and so on and so forth. So I went to 2 or 3 different ones, and it's stuff that they normally have on hand there for this type of project. They just don't have it. And so I'm pulling my hair out, trying to figure out where I'm gonna get all this stuff to do what I got to do, and I got a time frame here. Anyway, I don't know why I just told you that. I guess the reason I told you that is because I was about to tell you I was about to get off, because I'm waking up early in the morning before the Lunch Money show and trying to go get some building materials if I can get them. So anyway, thank you all for watching. You're all amazing and fantastic. Thank you for the people that donated. I could not do these shows without you. And of course, the callers and the commenters. Hope everybody has a fantastic night. I will let you guys know, if you care to know, exactly what game I'll be streaming on Saturday. Saturday is Halloween. So I'm not sure if I do a game, it'll most likely be one of the earlier games because I have, kids trick or treat in the evening. I don't know, though. I might do a night game, actually. I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. So. All right, guys. Hold on. I'll see you later. See you tomorrow. Pigskin Pete is checking out.